Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos, and today we're going to have the part B of the daily loop theory, and we're going to discuss about some things that I think that I didn't cover on part A. And if you are good boys and you stay until the end of this video, most probably I'm going to show an ad account where it proves it a little bit because it's a small spend and stuff. It's purely new, so you have to battle your way through, and we can see maybe a live example. I'm going to think of it, most probably I will do it. So one of the first things that I want to say is that if you haven't seen video A, you have to go and you have to watch the daily loop theory video part 1. So the other thing that I must say is this, that all of the things that we're discussing over here is not the actual demand of the product, but it's the demand that Facebook is willing to give to us. For example, if we are selling again a pen, then we are just trying to, with this theory, we are understanding that Meta is willing to give us X amount of sales on the current time, with the current spend that we have, with the creators that we have, and so on. And the whole point of this theory is how can we break the daily loop of getting the same sales every day and get more sales. So I want you to think of it like this. How many times have you heard or you have experienced, I hope you haven't, but how many times you have experienced yourself or you have seen by others saying, recently we had a comment like this on my group saying that I had my ad account, I was spending 10k per day, blah blah, and then I scaled too much and then my ad account started collapsing, which is why I don't like scaling campaigns like this, but scaling with more campaigns, but we covered this in other videos. But this is also part of the daily loop, that you need to scale like this with other creatives, because when you do that, you are actually able to convince people to buy your product that they wouldn't buy from video A, but they will buy from video C that is showing another usage of the product. So you are expanding and you are breaking the daily loop to a higher level. But how many times have you heard of people scaling or being greedy or Meta having a bad period and their ad accounts collapsing, and then they're not able to go back to their spend? It's like the example that I like to use with the ex. For example, you have a girlfriend for 10 years and then you break up and you want to start the relationship with a new one from the point that you left it with the other one that you were 10 years together. It's not going to happen. So what I'm saying here is this. When you are scaling an ad account, basically you are just taking a small chunk of the market from someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else. If in 5-6 days your ad account collapses and you lose all of your spend, guess what is going to happen? Someone else is going to take this spend, and in order for you to take this spend all over again, you have to battle your way through with more campaigns, with more creators, with whatever that may be. Just like nature, Meta despises gaps, okay? That's why they don't care if you leave the platform or not, because someone else is going to come into your position and they're just going to spend this amount of money taking the sales that they are going to take. Hi guys, I would like to interrupt this video in order to talk to you about my new mentorship programs, and I would love if you go to the website. You're going to find the link in the description, or you can find it in the menu of my website, and over there you're going to be able to see the different mentorship programs that I have. You can find the one that is going to fit better your needs, and I will hope to see you there. So, as we explained before and in the previous, in order for you to break the loop, what you need to do is to either expand to another country, to either have a better offer. Why? Because again, you are taking a chunk of the market from someone else that doesn't have as good offer as you. Basically, these sales were going to go to someone else, but you are taking them because you are having a better offer, so you're willing to drop more on ROAS and all of that. The next thing is that you can have different creatives. We discuss so much on this channel about the creatives and how you can have different aspects and how you can convince people from different perspectives on what they are going to buy or not by just showing them the use of the product. I think I have made the Lunchbox example, for example, but now I made it better, I think. Basically, we know that we have the example of the Lunchbox, that you're selling a lunchbox, a company, let's say, sells a lunchbox and has a video with a mom that is preparing the food, which is going to go to her kids, that they go to the school and so on. So you're targeting moms. The second one can be maybe a grandma. You're targeting grandmoms preparing the food for the children. or preparing the food for her husband that she's going to go for fishing, or you are having a household wife which is preparing the food for someone who is going to go to the construction site. So you're having all of these different aspects of women that are just going to buy the product, and woman A that is a mother is going to resonate with video A, but the grandma is going to resonate with the second video, or a household wife is going to resonate with the fourth video. So you have all of these different categories, and then the company comes and says, yeah, but we want to break the daily loop, as Konstantinos says, and we want to expand more. How can we have more sales? Let's expand to men. What if we create a video this time that we're just going to have someone who is a man and he's preparing lunch boxes for a romantic dinner with his girlfriend to the park. So with that way, you're expanding to men, or you can expand to men by just having someone who goes on the gym, okay, and he's preparing on these lunch boxes the different rations with protein and rice and chicken. As you can see, I'm not the right person to say what they are eating, but they are preparing all of this for the whole week. And you have these lunch boxes, for example, that they can take everywhere. So you can attract more and more people with the creative that you do and the usages that you do. This is how I scaled brands by just maintaining the same ROAS. And there are case studies on my YouTube channel that they prove that this is possible. How did I do it? Because I was breaking the daily loop with different creatives, or expanding to different countries, or you can expand also with different products that are similar to this, and you're going to be able to sell more. Basically, you're having a second loop over there of daily demand for the other product that you're having. But one of the most important aspects over here to break the daily loop is the competition. And yes, we have discussed about direct and indirect competition in video A, but there is another thing that we haven't discussed and I wanted to cover here. You can also scale an ad account by just being consistent, okay? There is a reason that I'm saying at the end of each of my videos, be creative and be consistent, because I believe a lot in creatives and you have to be creative. For me, if you do 20 videos that they're just having the same angle, just for example, the mom preparing the food for the children, it's like you have one creative, okay? But when you prepare a lot of different videos with the different angles, then I believe that you truly try to create a lot of creatives. A lot of times people are going to say, yes, I have 100 creatives and it's just a recycle or just changing the clips in between. Okay, this is going to get you somewhere, but not far away. The whole point here is to create videos with different angles. This is what is going to scale you actually. But let's leave this topic on the side and let's discuss a little bit about the market threshold that you are getting. So a lot of times we talked in this video about the attack periods. For example, you have a period on Black Friday and you are scaling more and then you try to maintain it. In the case studies that I have with United States and UK, I'm showing you how I maintain the spend after the Black Friday, the first Black Friday, then how I scale to the second and I try to maintain it and all of that. So all of this is really important for you to understand it, because basically on the Black Friday periods or the attack periods, the demand is higher, so the breaking loop is breaking anyway, okay? So you don't have the daily loop there. So you have a very good period with people with the demand being much more from what it is on the normal days. So you can also break over there and take bigger chunk of the market by just increasing your spend and then try to go to this spend as fast as you can. Because then Meta is going to also consider you a bigger player. The thing is that whatever you do here is your effort of taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that from direct and indirect competition, because this amount of sales is going to go anyway to some sellers. And the point is how many of these sales you can actually secure. Of course, the ways of different creatives and counters and all of that are more, there are faster ways, but even if you stay consistent in another account, eventually your competition is going to make mistakes and stuff. And if you get the right signals and scaling your ads bit by bit, you're going to be able to scale also, but it's going to take much more time. So a lot of times we see other accounts that they have scaled to X point, for example, and then something happens and they can never recover back to the X point. It's because, first of all, they do believe that they can go immediately to the X point. No, your market share is now being given to someone else that was waiting for your mistake and it's taking this budget. So this is number one. And number two is the fact that you are forgetting how long it took you to get there and what did you do. So you have to go again through the process of actually battling your way through and taking different chunks of the market from all of your competition. This is how the system is actually working, and this is what you need to understand, and always think like this in a way of what else can I do in order for me to take more chunk of the market. And yes, there are going to be some people that are going to be lucky and they're going to get bigger chunk of the market because, for example, one of their competitors is out of stock, or there are things that are going to happen like Black Friday, which is going to help. One last thing that I want to say, I'm just going to leave it there and you can do whatever you want with this information. This period right now that we're going to have elections with very high CPMs on September and October, I know some companies that are willing to lose money over there in order not to lose their threshold before the Black Friday because they want to scale. Just so you know, when you go to the higher levels of spending $500,000, $1 million, $2 million per month, then when something wrong is happening, you are losing money much faster from spending 40K or 50K. That's why it's very easy for you to scale from 50K to 100K or to 200K, but then it's becoming more difficult because you have to take more, either you have to do more work with creatives and all of that we discussed, or you need to take more chunk of the market from others which are not going to give it to you. In this period that we're going to have high CPMs, I do believe that some companies that are spending a lot of money, they're going to liberate some of their budget because it's going to be extremely costly for them. And I do believe that it's an opportunity for some smaller companies having smaller spends to take some of this budget immediately on September, October, that we are going to have the elections in the United States and the CPMs are going to rise. I'm just leaving it there on the side, and you can do whatever you want with this information. For sure, I know one or two companies that I'm going to exploit that. You always need to operate with a healthy cushion, let's call it, that is going to be in between being profitable or not. Let me tell you why. In order for you to be able to scale, you just cannot go always in the verge of being profitable or unprofitable. For example, if 2 ROAS is the target, if you're just all the time, you're just scaling, pushing to 2.10, then eventually there's going to be a bad period that you're going to be unprofitable and it's going to ruin your whole progress. If you do it in a way that you have a very healthy margin and you are also covering, you're having a safe distance between being profitable. For example, if you have 2 ROAS, trying to be on 2.5 ROAS, that doesn't mean that you're pushing your media buyer to have 2.5 ROAS and push him to spend all the time. That means that you are spending as much as you can by maintaining 2.5 ROAS in order for you also to have a very safe distance between 2.5 and 2, which is your break even, so that you can be able to be consistent without losing periods that you are negative or unprofitable, and with that way you're going to be able to scale. But all of these are really long-term plans and you have to be patient and not impatient. As you have seen on my case studies, it's taking me months to scale to, or years to scale to the level that we want. Now, whoever comes here and says I can do it faster and stuff, good for you, bro. Move on. Here in this channel, we like a more, safe approach when it comes to scaling. When your ad account is going to collapse in 2 months, you can get fired by your client, or you can cry on your corner if you are the owner, and you can start your next project with high hopes of scaling like crazy just because you want to buy a Lambo in 1 month. So guys, I'm not going to take a lot of your time. We're just in a completely new ad account. Basically, the campaigns here started on May 28. Okay, so I want to go over here on the maximum period, basically. So this is the first campaign that I did. By the way, new ad account, new pixel, new everything. If your offer is working and if your product is working, you are having very good results. Okay, break even here it's on around I believe it's around 4 or 3 point something. But still, it's not an issue right now because we're not looking that, we're just looking to train the pixel and all of that. So you can see here that in the maximum period, this campaign wasn't active, none of other campaigns were active because we had limit on the spend. Basically, we were just spending 250 per day after some point, and for some days much less. So if we start over here on May, let's see, on the 18th, we don't have, I think we started on the 28th. Yeah, we do spend 50 on the first day with no results. We do spend 100 on the next day with 10.8. On the next day, we spend 50 with 6. Let's see also the sales. Then the next day, another one sale. So it was giving us, for this amount of money that we were spending, it was just giving us one sale, okay? So we want to break the daily loop and we want to do more. So we go into days that we're starting spending more, I guess. This is 250 almost, because if you don't know, we have this way of increasing the budget. If you have 50 per day, you just add prepaid funds, and in just a matter of some days, they're going to increase it to you. So basically here we have 140. Let me see when they increased it. 100, here Wednesday, 250. So on the 5th, so actually it took them 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days to increase the limit over here. Okay, now we go on the 6th. Again, we're spending now the bigger amount of money that we want, the 380. We're still getting, now here we're getting 4 sales per day. Let's go on the 7th, we're getting 3. So we're getting 3 to 4 sales per day, okay, with this spend. Okay. Now, when we try to scale above that, then the problems start to begin. So we get 2, 3, or 4 sales, okay? And it's totally fine because of our profit margins and stuff. We're still doing really well. Okay, let's continue. 3 sales. You see, it's consistent, okay? It's not like it's giving us one day 8 sales. And we just had just a very good day with 4 sales, but it's consistent over here to the sales. On 15th, we get that. 16 we have no sales, we were unlucky. Then again 4 sales on the 17th. 18, I'm starting another campaign. So what do you see immediately? The thing that I was telling you, it's going to start splitting the sales between 2 campaigns, okay? We're going to go on the 19th, you're going to see now we have again 3, but one of the sale was actually stolen from the other. If it wasn't stolen from the other, we would have better ROAS here on this one. Okay, because we're increasing the budget, it doesn't mean that it's going to give us 2 sales here and 2 sales there. It's going to give us whatever it wants actually, okay? Then we have only 1 sale here. Then we have 2 and 2, which is 4, which is the maximum, but you can see that again it's split it between 2. So it's really obvious here, but we haven't seen again a 4. I didn't change the budget is the same, okay? So I haven't seen a 4 sales in one since then. 2 and 1, it's 3 again. On 24 we have 3 and 1, which is 4 again, but it's total. On the 25th we get 1, 1, 3. Here is a delayed sale, I believe, but I'm starting another campaign now to just try to save it and update here this. Now what I want you to see is this. If we go to maximum, we can see that on the first campaign that we did, which was actually spending the amount, we had 50 sales, very good for our pixel, we're training it. And we had over here 7.4, okay? This is the results that we are having on this campaign. If we go on the last 7 days, we can see that we still have 7 if we take these 2 campaigns, or 8 if we take these 2 campaigns, okay? Just because the sales are being scattered, okay? You can see that in the last 7 days we are getting that. If we go over here, we have 21 sales, okay? So in the last 7 days period. If we go from this period, let's say from the 5th that it start, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many sales do we have here? 17, okay? Then I go 20, 17, 20. 19, so between 17 and 20 so far, 17 and 20 so far, 19 again, 19 again, 17, so 17 and 20. Do you see how consistent it is? Let's see what we have on the last 7 days, 21, okay? So we just got 1 more sale, and let's see the day before, 18. So between 17 and 20, but this time it's not in one campaign and we're getting 10 ROAS, it's between two campaigns. This is why we have to break the daily loop over here. How can we do it? With more creatives that are showing the product from other angles and all of that, and just keep scaling like that. I hope that this example is going to help you understand it. It's much more easier to spot this on a new ad account that they're completely new and you have to battle your way through all of the competition and all of that by just doing what we said. So I hope that this explains everything about the daily loop theory and how you can break it. There are things that there wasn't said on the part A, so I did a part 2 in order to cover everything. Don't forget, guys, that if you want to learn more, you can check my book, my course, my website, my mentorship programs, the reviews below my mentorship programs with the people that they have completed the program. And until we meet again, guys, be creative, be consistent.